I'm thinking for all you guys would like to go, got 4 of you. I'll take 2 at a time. We're just probably gonna shock the whole shoreline.
Sure.
So we can do half of it and then come back and swap out the other.
All right.
These guys go first.
I've never been.
I mean, I'm not saying.
You guys go first.
Yo, what's going down, fishing fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do something a little different, guys. Today we're actually gonna go electrofishing. Something I've wanted to do for the longest. I've seen it on YouTube and it's crazy. What my boy Sergio.
Morning, y'all. Good to see you.
Sergio, tell me who those guys are. What are we gonna go on the boat with?
Right. So we're going with Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. Of course, the head biologist is Lynn Wright, and then he has Charles and I think it's Richard that are with him as well. So
Awesome. All right, you guys, look at that. There they are. Yeah, we're actually gonna go around the edges. They're gonna electro. If you guys don't know what it is, they shock the fish. It doesn't hurt them, right?
no, not at all. They're just immobilized for a little bit.
Yeah, so it shocks them and then they'll come up to the surface. They grab them really quick. They net them. If they pass, like maybe 30 seconds after they pass, the fish will swim back. They'll be all right. Like we don't net them, but they'll pick them up, measure them, weigh them, and it's great for the fish. How is it great for the lake?
So we're going to find out, what is needed, what is there's too many of or not enough of. Okay, so it's just a survey, obviously. And Lynn Wright, he takes care of awesome lakes such as OHI, the Hello, which is the best bass lake here in the United States. So, he won some awards last year for being the best biologist here in the state of Texas. So, yeah, obviously we have somebody as knowledgeable and experienced as Lynn, and he'll give his input, and hopefully we'll go forward from there.
Awesome. See y'all in the water.
Who's first to going?
Yeah.
Yeah, those two young guys.
You got a life
Yeah, everyone's got to have a life jacket in the boat. So,
Yeah. Hard one?
I'll take this one. Thank you. Safety first, guys. Safety first.
life jacket.
They got them.
No, there's only 2 guys going out.
I need something to sit on.
I don't need a life jacket. I was in the Navy.
All right.
No, it's on my channel. Yeah, it's Envy Fishing. Like Envy.
No, I watch you on YouTube, man.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I see him.
Thank you so much. What's your name?
Bailey?
Bailey.
Yeah.
Bailey, nice to meet you, brother. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
If you want your mom. I never would. No, he sits right there and he never would. When you're inside the boat, you're like a bird sitting on a power line. You're fine. The electricity is trying to find a way to get back to the boat. So if you stick your hand in the water while the power is on, your arm is now a way for electricity to get back in the boat. So you stay in the boat, you're good. I'm gonna fire it up. I gotta adjust the settings to find the right settings for this water. And then we can, what we'll do is we'll go to the shoreline, shock along the shoreline. We'll do a 5-minute run. As people net things up front, you'll turn around, hand them to Charles. He'll help empty the net out. If you're going to dip, you can hop up there. You see those 2 pads on the floor there?
Sure.
Those are safety pads. So the power doesn't go out unless you're standing on those. If you slip and fall and your feet come off those, the power's off.
And I can sit right
Yeah,
here?
you can start.
Yeah, you're welcome to sit right there. If you want your muffs, they're here. They're
Okay.
optional.
Okay.
Charles doesn't wear them, but a little bit.
Okay.
Because we don't normally service this lake, if you come across a catfish, you can dip it, but we don't need carp. We're not worried about measuring carp, but bass, sunfish, shad. If you see a catfish, feel free to dip it, or something you're not sure what it is, you can dip it. We just don't need carp. I'm gonna fire it up. Let's see if we can get the settings right. We'll go.
There's a bluegill in that one.
So guys, what we're doing here is, so any fish, any bass, 7 inches or smaller, we just inch class those. So Charles will put them on the board, get writing down their inch class and putting them back. Any fish over 8 inches and up, we get weights on as well, so we can calculate the fish condition.
326,
Never.
446, 305,
Biologist.
378,
Is that what you do now?
265,
Yes.
Yeah.
236, 276,
Yeah.
270,
Combo select.
220, 148,
Wally.
75,
Is the visible color.
265.
What do we have? We have so 19 total bass on that. We're on 5 minutes, so pretty good.
Biggest bass there, Wade.
So I'd have to do 446 grams, so just about a pound. We didn't get anything big that time. 450 grams is a pound. Well, I'm figuring I'm probably gonna do maybe 4 passes down this side, and then I'll swap you guys out, and then we'll make another 4 passes coming up the other side.
It's a local pet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been caught a few times and released, so
That's somebody's aquarium fish at one time.
I know there's
Right?
somebody's pet at one time.
I want to let it go, born free.
And can you guys tell, like, cause you're saying they brought Florida string bass?
Right.
Can you tell the difference between them? Like, if that one,
not visually. The only way to tell is to take. Usually we take fin clip and send them to we have a geneticist in San Marcos, and we can take a sample of fin clip. He can tell us if they're northern Florida or a mix.
oh,
There's a lot of
okay.
crossbreeding. There's a different setting we can for blues and flatheads. For some reason, if we turn the power down and shorten the pulses, then we can. It's called low frequency electrofishing. We can collect blues and flatheads on red.
One. 214. 430.
Still Italian.
1225.
Change it up.
280.
Oh.
292.
What,
221. 149.
maybe
325. 434.
like
280.
Small pocket.
277.
That was a honey hole.
Yeah.
345.
That stock was removed chop.
544.
yeah, because
393. 855.
one had going out the others.
289. 316.
Deal with the source. And once again, so basically, since it's on a lot of water, that one had
395.
stop that one.
360. 293. 317. 289. 322.
You did
490.
490.
19 inches.
Guys, that one was just 4.85 pounds. So just a little bit under 5 pounds. Did you get everything you needed to get?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
A question like an answer for you? That
If you were gonna driving from here, what would be like the biggest bass lake you would say? Like if you're gonna go after your PB.
well, I can only speak for Texas lakes because I'm not familiar with New Mexico, and unfortunately, you're gonna have to drive a long ways.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Balmaray is gonna be your closest Texas lake with bass, aside from here. That's a decent size. It's right now it's low, but you can still launch a boat off the bank because it's rock bank. Balmaray's always had good numbers of fish. Every now and then there's a big fish, but that Balmaray has the same problem as this. Is it's really hard to enforce regulation, and there's probably some illegal harvest that kind of crops off some bigger fish. The best bass lake in the whole country right now is still OHIV. If you can make that 8-hour drive. Well, just based on what I saw in this survey, there's some bluegill in there, but we didn't see a lot. Couldn't be, so I'll probably put it on the list for another bluegill stocking. But I'm hoping to talk with the county about seeing if they're going to buy more fish, if they can get some more bait fish in there.
Is there a reason why the lake is so stained? Like normally it's clear.
Yeah, I noticed that. I remember being out here and it being very clear. I'm not sure what the weather's been lately. I don't know if anything stirred it up, but
No, it stayed like this year round, and the whole year.
We've had a murky year. We've not had that yet. Those days when we have very clear waters,
it's
which is
I noticed there's not a ton of vegetation in there, submerged vegetation.
There
You
used
notice-
to be.
yeah,
Well, with the water being murkier, that would have suppressed some of that aquatic vegetation growth.
yeah.
So
And them cutting it, because I know they bought a machine that cuts the.
weed harvester.
Will that affect it? Like make it start getting
Well, there's kind of a, when you have vegetation in place, the roots kind of hold the sediment, and that kind of vegetation helps create clearer water. It's kind of a circular thing. The clear water gives you more vegetation, but vegetation helps keep the water clear. And basically for a lake this size, and in general, we like to see about 20% of the lake with vegetation. And so, too little is a problem, but too much is also a problem. And so just trying to keep the right balance. But with the lake being murkier, it just doesn't seem like there's as much aquatic vegetation as has been in years past. So.
Is there anything that we can do to make the water clean? Like you can recommend?
So, water quality in a reservoir is really pretty much dictated by the geology and the watershed that lake is in. So there's not a ton we can do in terms of that. I think the main thing, they got fountains out here. Aeration is one area that we can make water quality better. But right now, it's good. And like when we took the water quality this morning, our dissolved oxygen was like 8 parts per million. So it's good. There's good oxygen in the lake already.
Okay. What's
On a bright sunny day like this, there's going to be a ton of oxygen in the water because of photosynthesis. So. And foam is another indicator of golden algae. If you
Yeah,
wind
but
side.
it just,
Mm.
dissipated.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't,
Oh, there was a lot of that in the small lake. A lot of
Okay,
foam.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot in the small lake. Because I know like in the the fall, it transitions, right? Like the water, like where the oxygen levels drop and raise.
Yeah, so that like the fall and spring turnover. I'm not sure how much of that we have too here because we're such in a warm climate, but basically, if you're not familiar, so water temperature and density are related. So the colder the water gets, the more dense it is. And so in the summertime, your top layer of water is going to be warm and your bottom layer of water is going to be cold. So it's going to be stratified, right? So, but when you get to the fall and the top layer starts cooling down, when they're stratified, they don't mix. So that top water stays on the top, the bottom water stays on the bottom. Once it all gets the same temperature, then all that water is the same density. And if you get a strong blowing wind, that's when the lake will roll, and that's called turnover. And so what can happen is on the bottom of the lake, you got all the dead plants, you got all the detritus, dead material. That's usually just down there. If you ever drop a oxygen probe all the way to the bottom, you'll see there's almost always no oxygen right on the very bottom because of that decaying material.
That turnover.
So when that turnover happens, all that dead stuff goes up into the water column. And if you don't have enough oxygen to make up for that material, you see your oxygen drop and you can have a fish kill.
So we have the turnover, not every year.
Yeah.
Every third or fourth year. We
Uh-huh.
have it.
Yeah.
And like I said, maybe it's related to a especially cold winter or mild winter or something. But the fact that we have such a shallow lake, it's hard. to have
That's
this
another
conversation.
thing. Yeah, it's so shallow that there's probably not a ton of temperature difference. But
Oh.
when the lake when the water's all the same temperature, that's when it's prone. If you get a strong wind, it'll turn the lake over.
Wasn't that crazy, guys? Thank you all for staying tuned to the end. Huge shout out to Sergio. Because of him, he actually knew everybody, and I went to go shoot a video, ran into Sergio, ran into Tom. Tom started talking to me, then he told me Sergio was gonna be there, and then he told me that they were gonna do electrofishing. So I thought, you know what, let me put all my stuff away and let me see if I can just talk to these guys before they go on the boat and then ask them for general information. I didn't think they were gonna let me on the boat because I knew Sergio. Sergio was my connect to them. Like Sergio vouched for me, and so they ended up letting me get on the boat, which was awesome. Yo, huge shout out to Lynn Wright. He's a biologist that we were talking to. And for those of you that don't know, he's in charge of what he was saying was he was in charge of this area and other lakes. We were specifically targeting bass, and every now and then you guys saw the carp. The carp ended up getting shocked and they would come up, but it was more for we were going after the bluegill and bass. And I was surprised, guys. I was surprised there was that many that we were able to catch. But I asked Sergio the last time they did, I think it was 5 years ago. I don't know if they do it every 5 years because it's beneficial, or they do it every 5 years because that's the only time they're gonna be able to come out here because we are so far away from Lynn. Like, he does other lake. For him to be able to come all the way out here, it's an 8-hour drive from where he lives. From where he's stationed at, it's an 8-hour drive. So I don't know if that plays a little factor in it, but it was awesome, man. It was really awesome that he let me get on the boat. I wasn't expecting that, and that was amazing. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. You guys tell me, what did you guys think about it? But hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. Smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, man. Love y'all. God bless. To the next.